Hey crew, so me, Rob, and Rowdy were farming the dungeon like we always do, and we were testing some different builds and setups in there, and I finally decided to give in and play with the DPS King setup itself that so many of you have commented about in my videos, and I think I have to be upfront here and say it, I might have been kind of wrong about this build. There, I said it. No, but seriously, I hadn't given it its fair shake yet, and now that I have, you guys that have been telling me about them were definitely right, and especially when it comes to farming encounters like this, because we start with a full super already from the flag, so it makes the gathering of orbs so much easier to feed the damage, and I want to go over the whole build and give you guys some options that you may or may not have known about to make sure that we get the super back as quick as possible to take advantage of the crazy damage. But first off, we have a sponsor on today's video. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid just had their 3rd anniversary and still is one of the top RPG games out there, and we're on my account right now, and I'm so close to level 93, so as you can see, I play a lot of Raid Shadow Legends. My favorite thing about Raid by far is the amount of champions there are, and each one can completely change the way the game is played, which keeps it fresh, so I want to show you guys my top 3 champions that I use. First we have Lydia, the Death Siren, and man, is she literally just that. With an AoE move that places a decreased defense and weaken on the entire enemy team while placing a strengthen and speed buff on my team, you really can't beat that, and she just looks awesome as well. My second is the big boy Solus here, and his name is fitting because he has a move called Reign of Terror that can just one-shot the entire enemy team if you set it up correctly, and it is so much fun to see it in action. And last but certainly not least, we have Rio Bone Spear. She is one of the coolest looking champions in the game, and her AoE remove debuffs and block debuffs move, all while healing every champion on my team, is just a powerhouse move and is so valuable, all on a 3-turn cooldown. Talk about an OP move. So what's new in Raid, you might ask? They've got special events every single day, including an entirely new event for the summer solstice. It's called the Path of Light, and you'll be able to explore 3 branching paths to get the rewards you want the most. On top of that, there's some awesome new champions coming out and a set of skins for the amazing Trunda. They look amazing and I can't wait to get my hands on them. Also, Raid's currently running a special Deliana Chase event where you can get your hands on the amazing Deliana, a brand new legendary champion from the High Elves faction, just by logging in. All you have to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and July 20th, and you'll get Deliana for free. That's it. Deliana is one of the strongest support champions in the entire game, so don't miss out on her. This is the best time to get started in Raid, and if you click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on screen, you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Vergis, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get into the game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, and it's that easy. Just click the link in the description, and once you're in game, just enter the promo code MyDeliana to get your new Deliana champion to level 50. It's really that easy, and I'll see you guys over in game. Okay, so let's go over the build here, and there's not anything crazy to it. We're just trying to beef up Blade Barrage as much as possible. That means get it up as many times as we can, especially if we're just doing normal content and running around. We want to get it as often as possible, and then in dungeon farming and stuff like that, encounter farming, it's not really as important as to get it up as it is to collect your 8 orbs. The reason we're collecting 8 orbs is because of Star Eater skills here. The armor perk is Feast of Light. You gain additional super energy from Orbs of Power that you pick up. While your super energy is full, picking up an Orb of Power overcharges your super, causing you to gain a burst of healing when cast and a bonus to your super damage. At maximum overcharge, you gain an overshield. So we get a feast times 8. We can get up to 8 orbs picked up. That gives us times 8 towards Star Eater skills here, and that's what does the big damage. That's what does close to 700,000 damage. And when you have just one person running this, that's awesome, right? But when you get 2 people running it or 3 people running it, it'll make one-phasing dungeon encounters or something you're trying to farm like that, maybe for Artifice Armor, way easier because you're just melting that boss so much quicker, and if you can one-phase him, you're getting in there for your next run faster and faster, and that's kind of the point behind having such a high damage super, is to get something over with the quickest. And the cool part about this is just your super, so you can still use the best DPS in the game, something like Storm Chaser or whatever. So when you're building up orbs in just like dungeon encounters or stuff that you're farming over and over and we don't have to worry about actually getting the super, there's 2 options. In the dungeon, you're probably running Wither Horde and maybe Void to break the shields, right, and Storm Chaser. So your only option really is on your helmet slot, you're going to run Kinetic Siphon. Rapid Kinetic Weapon, Final Blows, create an Orb of Power. We really can't run the harmonic siphon here because we're not matching our subclass with an element, because we have to match our subclass to break the shields of like the Bellkeeper. But if let's say there's something solar shields that you're dealing with, then you would put this on and run your solar secondary, right? Which would then gen all the orbs for you and make it that much easier. But in this case, for the dungeon, like on the hard mode, we have to run Void. So our only option is Kinetic Siphon. And just get Wither Horde down on the Scions or get it down on the dogs, and you kill 2 of them, you'll gen an orb. It's that easy. And make sure your teammates have ways to gen orbs as well, especially if you're going the route of doing this. So that's the first way, and that's in the dungeon, right? Your second option is hands-on, and you gain a bonus super energy when killing enemies with your melee. This is very easy on the hunter because we have Knife Trick here, does a lot of damage, can kill red bars very easily, and we get it back over and over because of the perk from Knock 'em Down while we're radiant, and we're becoming radiant when throwing our knives. So very simple to loop our melee over and over to take advantage of hands-on and get a super the fastest that way. But the absolute quickest way that you could get a super in any kind of normal content you're doing is you can keep hands-on right here, right? And then throw on Kinetic Siphon and throw on the Bad Juju. Now, Bad Juju is a lot better than it used to be. The lightweight frame's got a buff, so it's definitely better as far as damage. It got the 40% damage to red bars, so it'll blow through red bars. And it does a lot of different things for you. I played with it for the last like 5 or 6 days in the dungeon farming when I was been working on this video and whatnot, just testing things out, and it's really, really good. And it's kind of underrated for what it can actually do. Your super will charge twice as fast when using this weapon, and you're also generating the orbs with Kinetic Siphon, so you're picking those up with Star Eater Scales. So you're getting the extra super energy from the orbs here, you're getting the extra super energy from Bad Juju, and then your Bad Juju will still create the orbs after you have your super to pick up the 8 for Feast of Light. But Bad Juju here, it fires full auto, which is great, and the Catalyst extends the duration of Strings of Curses, and any kill refills the magazine, so you get a full refill so you don't have to reload. It increases damage for a short duration that lasts 5 seconds with the Catalyst, and that can stack up to 5 times, and it grants super energy based on the strength of Strings of Curses. So when you have a ×5 and you're getting kills, that super bar is just flying up. So a great weapon to take advantage of, and just look how cool this thing looks, huh? I mean, look, it matches my hunter so well. So that's the way that you want to get your super the fastest, and there's really not much else to this build. I've had so many people comment and say, hey, just do a build on it, let me know what you're doing. So that's basically the build. In the armor slots here, hands-on, Kinetic Siphon, like I said. I have a melee Wellmaker on to create a well, just to proc Fawn of Might to get extra damage when I'm running something like Mida, okay? And then I have Well of Life, so when I pick up that well, I'm healing a little bit extra. And then I have Classy Restoration on, of course, to dodge and get our health back, right, when we're doing harder content. And Utility Kickstart to get some extra dodge right off the bat. For the subclass, Blade Barrage, obviously, I still like Knife Trick the best. I was using Healing Grenade because we were running normal dungeons and hard dungeons with this, so I wanted to stay alive. Knock 'em Down for the Blade Barrage launches more projectiles, and then while Radiant, we get our knife back, right? So that's how we loop our knife. On Your Mark, to just get the extra fragment slots, and Ember of Singeing to get that class ability fast when we scorch targets. We're scorching a target every time we throw the knife. We want the class ability back fast anyways, so we can dodge and get restoration and stay alive that way. Ember of Beam, so all of your Blade Barrage projectiles actually hit your target. Ember of Torches, that's how we become radiant when we throw our melee and loop our melee with hands-on. We have Ember of Solace. This could be traded out for something else if you want. Radiant restoration effects applied to you have increased duration. This is just in case it took me a while to get a kill, or maybe I wasn't using a solar weapon here for Ember of Empyrean. Solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration. So I had this on in the harder dungeon, in the hard mode, because if I was using the void weapon and I would dodge, well then at least my restoration would last like 10 seconds, right? If I wasn't getting a kill or an ability kill with something solar, because I was using a void. I highly suggest getting 100 resilience if you can, 100 mobility with the build if you can, and then you can also bump up your intellect and discipline, and that will really make the build go. The nice thing about this super is too that it is a burst super. It's burst damage, it's instant. You get out that 700k big hit on something, and then you go to your heavy and go to town. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. This is for all of you that have asked for a Star Eater build forever, so here you go, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.